For me, it was about being independent, flexible, and being able to pay my bills and have that bit of extra. And if I wanted to do more, I've got the option to do it.
One of the main things that I enjoy about my four wheels is I've got my time back. I came from a traditional 9-to-5 job, and now I can work my job around my lifestyle.
What I enjoy most about my job is the freedom of kind of deciding when I work, where I work, how I work in a sense, because I haven't got a manager looking at me.
I enjoy it. It's fun. I like the perks and the differences of it, meeting new students, meeting different people.
Becoming a driving instructor allows you to have the freedom of choice in life. You can work around your school kids, you can work around parents, elderly things, if you have a different job. So it gives you the ability to go on holiday when you would like to go on holiday. It provides a great income at your benefit. If you want to work in the evenings or early mornings or weekends, you can do this to suit yourself.
What attracted me the most was being in charge of my own diary, to be honest with you. That really attracted me, and doing something that is actually quite fulfilling in terms of, when you get passed. I had 2 passes last week. It's an amazing feeling. It is. You're on cloud 9 and you come back home and you're in a really good mood.
The thing I love most about my job is the variety of students. I have an eclectic mix from all walks of life, and every lesson is different. I finish one lesson, could be a bit hairy. I start another lesson, not so hairy. It's almost like starting it all over again. Every student is different, and every student requires different Trudies.
Yeah, when you build a rapport with a pupil and you have them for weeks on weeks on weeks, you look forward to it. You're like, oh yes, I've got this person today. I'm like, yes, oh, we're doing this subject today. I'm like, yes, I like doing this subject.
I enjoy a lot of elements of the job, but I would say things I like a lot is the rewarding factor of when students pass and how happy they are afterwards and how they feel, and it's like you've actually helped someone in life to do something better and something that's going to stay with them for life. Also like the pay, it's good pay as well.
Yeah, you can make quite a lucrative amount of money from it, but that wasn't what it was about for me. Maybe it will go down that way another year.
Becoming a driving instructor gives you the freedom, ability to do whatever you would like to do in life, as well as earn at any age, at any time, meet different peoples from different walks of life.
So the work-life balance is unbelievable in terms of I can essentially plan around my job with my work life and kind of fit in what I want to do outside of work with my work. I'm not having to rely on a manager to ask me, oh, can I have that day off?
The advantages of joining as being a driving instructor is a great work-life balance. Lots of people have come out of normal 9-to-5s and they enjoy the freedom of being able to plan their own diary.
So my weeks are very routined, but there are times when I need to be at other places, and I can adapt my days and certainly the times of my lessons to suit myself and my students, actually, because it's a two-way thing. I usually work between 24 and 30 hours, and every week is different. So I may work Monday to Wednesday, 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night, and then have the rest of the week off. Other weeks I'll be working 9 till 5, Monday to Friday.
So what I enjoy about it and what I enjoy about the flexibility of this job is that I'm in a process still of transitioning completely to doing driving instructor full time. So I have a job and I have driving instructor, so it allows me to be able to work and slowly make it more fully driving instructing, but it gives me that much flexibility where I can still do actually another job.
So a typical day for me, so usually I would have about 3 lessons a day, potentially 4. I just try to get through as much as I can at the beginning of the week and then kind of ease off towards the end of the week. So my Fridays are usually half days.
I'm a carer of 2 boys with special needs, and I have a carer now who kindly helps me, and we tailor the week to suit my work, and she kindly covers looking after the boys while I'm able to go out and work. If I didn't have her and I didn't have the flexibility of this job, I wouldn't be able to go to work.
A typical day as a driving instructor would be to have your diary ready booked out, looking at it, and depending on if you're working morning, so if I'm working like a whole day of it, it would obviously better start off early so you have more time for students to fit in, obviously depending on their availability. So early day would start off by going to the student's house. But before doing that, making sure your car is roadworthy, making sure the tires, the lights are working, making sure it's all ready to go, and then picking up your student, talking to them, finding out how they've been, what they've done, have they done any driving, and then continuing on developing their learning.
It fits around my home life. So, I mean, my son's still at college. He has regular reviews that I have to attend. That might just crop up, and I can, whereas a 9 to 5 job, I'd have to walk out of the job and pick him up and make the hours up another time. I'll just flexi around, get him sorted and give the student a lesson later on or a different time in the week.
One of the good things about being a driving instructor is that I can work as hard as I want or as little as I want. For example, when I first started, I worked quite hard and realised what my limit was and kind of cut it down a bit so I wasn't overdoing it. So I realised when you get to the end of the week, you can be a little bit drained, which is not fair on your pupils.
It's not the sort of job I would choose to do full time. It's quite an intense job to do. You've got to be on it the whole entire lesson. I did do 10-hour days, and it was exhausting. So you've got to balance it out right. So yeah, if you wanted to, you could go 40 hours a week and earn a lot of money. For me, it's not so much about that. It's about me paying the bills and having a flexible degree of income to work around my own personal circumstances.
The amount of students you can do daily, I would say maximum, if it's 2 hours lessons you're doing, I would say maximum you can do is 6 if you're planning it right. So if you are planning it where they're all kind of local and near each other, then you can get 6 in with a little bit of break here and there. If you want a kind of bit more chilled day, you can just do 3 and have a little bit of break before or after or during. There is a bit of admin to go with it, of course. So obviously you need to keep your hold of your account, as in your finance, and because obviously self-employed, so you will have to do your own self-assessment. Possible to get an accountant as well. A little tip, it is a write-off of your tax as well if you want to know. But yeah, there is a bit of admin, obviously talking to people on the phones, answering questions. Students might have queries, making sure you're available to help them out. So it does take up time, but it's also, you can do it in your time, if that makes sense.
Becoming a driving instructor was quite daunting, I'm not gonna lie. It took me many months of ringing around different companies, deciding what I want to do, weighing up financially as well. Like, that's the biggest hit, is not knowing, is it gonna be financially worth it? And I can assure you, it is. And it's one of the best things I've ever done, taking the leap.
Obviously, being a driving instructor, you are self-employed, which can be quite scary for some people. However, we at My 4 Wheels are here to handhold you through that as well, and also help you to understand how self-employed can work for you.
What made me become a driving instructor? Surprisingly, actually, it was way out of my comfort zone, but a change in family circumstances led me to require a job that was more flexible and I could work around my family needs. I had a go at teaching my son driving and was quite surprised at my tolerance level and my patience, and decided to train.
So the first step to becoming a driving instructor is talking to one of our recruitment consultants. Our recruitment consultants have over 50 years industry knowledge. We start off the consultation by finding out key facts about you and also giving you key facts about the job. It's a consultative process that takes time, because becoming a driving instructor is not a small step.
How I discovered My 4 Wheels is I was looking online, different schools to become a driving instructor, and as I was looking at other companies, what I tend to find is bigger companies in previous work I've done kind of leave you to yourself, whereas a smaller company you'll be able to know who the owners are, you'll be able to know who the managers are, you'll be able to know who's who in the role. And so when I came to My 4 Wheels, I spoke to the director at the time, Sai, and he really was giving us good information. He was talking with me, letting me know about the business, the history of the business, which made me be like, okay, wow, okay. And then also, as time went on, as I progressed to becoming a driving instructor, how they developed my learning, I understand that driving instructor is independent. It's not really a team sport, hey everyone, let's go. It's more independence. But when you are struggling, nervous, not sure what you can or can't do, they're always there. Just a phone call away to like find out what to do, what not to do.
What I love about My Four Wheels is I can phone them at any time and they will pick up. If I have any problems, there's always somebody at the end of the phone to answer. They're very professional and they're just there to help.
Yeah, the really, I can't stress this enough, really good thing about My Four Wheels is they are with you all the way. So I've been around offices and working in different jobs and stuff like that. But when it comes to My Four Wheels, I work on my own. I'm on my own in that car. However, I always feel like I've got an office behind me.
They do have a caring nature. I've never ever had any bad experiences with them. They are consistently good at picking up the phone if I need them. I've had bad weeks. I've had weeks when I was training where I felt this is not for me, and they were always at the end of the phone.
One of the advantages of My Four Wheels is we're big enough to understand, we're big enough to give you the support that you need. However, we're small enough to have that family environment, which means we care. And if you succeed, we succeed.
So the advantages of My Four Wheels is our excellent training packages that we provide. We give excellent support along the way. Our franchisees are not just a number, we're a family, so it's a family-run business.
I had a chat with them on the phone and I really liked the way that they came across. They were very genuine, knew what they were talking about and had confidence and gave me confidence that I would have somebody there to work with rather than work for. And they were very supportive on that one phone call. I went away for a couple of weeks. They didn't give me the hard sell. Had a good think about it, and we planned a phone call a couple of weeks later, and then I decided over that 2 weeks that I would sign up and have a go anyway. Whether or not I was going to be successful was another thing, but definitely have a go.
So if you are thinking of joining My Four Wheels or thinking about becoming a driving instructor, my advice is that if you are young or old, you can do it. I joined at 23, so I was able to do it then. It doesn't matter what colour, nationality, where you come from. If you're male, female, you can do it as well. All you need is a smile, and that's it. The benefits of being a franchisee is one, that I don't have to look for my own students. I don't have to put myself out there. Two, that they do help with admin, help with pay, finding students to pay and deals. Three, I don't have to figure it all out on my own.
So as a My Four Wheels franchisee, you get ongoing support throughout your journey. You get your wonderful training from our in-car trainers and also our virtual classroom training. You get our learner sales support. So we have a dedicated sales team that book in pupils for you. We also give you a fully maintained car.
Okay, so the biggest benefits of working My Four Wheels, top of the list, is you've always got students. So students pass, you get a replacement student. That's always a concern when you're self-employed. They also advise you on accounts and how you deal with the business side of things. I was completely new to this. I had no idea what I was doing, and it was lovely to have their support with that.
What sets My Four Wheels apart from any other driving school that I contacted was the initial phone call, I think. They were very big on being honest, just being completely honest. They weren't trying to sell me the world. They weren't trying to say, yes, you can earn 50 grand a year, you can earn 60 grand a year. They were just frank and honest with me about petrol prices, insurance, cars, the training, very frank. And I was like, I'm going to trust someone who is honest with me and doesn't give me a false picture, they give me the true picture. And that's why I went My Four Wheels.
So if anyone's thinking about becoming a driving instructor, My Four Wheels is great for that because we offer you the family environment. We handhold you all the way through from the beginning to the end and even beyond with the DVSA protocols and exams that you need to do.
So My Four Wheels is a national driving school. We offer excellent training and support along the way. Our franchise packages start to suit every budget. We offer ongoing support throughout the whole process, throughout the whole training process and throughout the process of when you finally pass your test and you become an instructor on the road.
The earnings is great because we get the full pay of every student we get. We just get a standard flat rate fee, and the longer you're with them, the lower it goes.
One of the deciding factors about me choosing My Four Wheels was they gave me loads of reassurance and virtually guaranteed me that if I put in all the work they will support me enough to make sure that I pass the test. And being qualified now, I can safely assure you that I have now passed all my tests, and they did give me as much support as I needed to make sure that was going to happen, and it has happened.
Here at My Four Wheels, should you fail your attempts at becoming a qualified driving instructor, we will retrain you for free. It is quite unusual, so effectively, that is as near as we can guarantee that you will become a qualified driving instructor.
What I think sets My Four Wheels apart from other driving schools is that it allows a lot more flexibility, in my opinion. It allows me to decide what I want to do, but also there's a support system in my decision. It allows me to be free, really and truly. If I don't want to work, they're not going to pressure me to say you need to work. We have students right now that need driving instructors. They will ask, but they will never force or demand. They're always a phone call away to help in any situation, good or bad, positive or negative.
Yes, they were. All the telephone conversations that I had with them were always caring and conscious of my specific needs, as also for others as well. They were always there to answer questions. Any problems I had, they were always there at the end of the phone to answer them. Today, I'm still working for the franchise. I ping them a text and I get a response within a couple of hours. There's never wait to come back. There's never any delay in responding to my text.
The big advantage of starting off by yourself with a franchise is having someone there. Like, you're doing it by yourself, but you're with someone else, if that makes sense. You're always supported, they're always there. They're only a phone call away or an email away. So you're doing it by yourself, but you're not doing it by yourself. And I think that is really important when you're doing something for the first time.
So to become a driving instructor via the DVSA, which is the Driving Vehicle Standards Agency, there are 3 parts. First part being the theory test, second part being the in-car practical, so demonstrating your driving ability, and third is your instructional ability, all compassed in together. Once you pass all 3, then you can become a driving instructor approved by the DVSA.
I signed up with them in January, and they sent me a package. The first thing I had to do was complete the part 1, which is the theory test.
Part 1 is online based. When you first join us, we will send you an online package to be able to get logins for our online portal. The second stage is an in-car aspect and also VCTs. VCTs are virtual classroom training. Virtual classroom training is a unique way of giving people experience but without having to get them out in a car.
The training is divided up into many different ways. So you have quite a chunk of it online, which is on Teams, and you have 2 brilliant trainers who talk about everything. They've got a PowerPoint, they go through everything that you need. They'll always wait and ask for questions, answer your questions. And then the most valuable thing for me, I think, was the in-car training, where they put me in touch with a trainer who is just down the road from here. And his advice and being hands-on in the car really, really was valuable to me. And I would not have got this far without that kind of support that I had with My Four Wheels and the trainer that they put me in touch with.
The training falls into 3 parts. We try and make this as convenient and easy for you as we can. Some's done online, some will be done in car with your trainer. However, we try and make it as convenient and as close to you as we possibly can.
So the first part was theory. They provide you with all the books, and you go off and study, and really you've got to put the hard work in. The second part, it was in person. I was lucky enough to have a good instructor in Cheltenham who helped me and support me get through the part 2, which is the driving test. The part 3 was mainly online training. You have to put the hard work in, you have to log in, you have to get there. And all the instructors online were absolutely fantastic, very knowledgeable. Never had any issues with them not answering the phone, answering my questions. Really kind words when you're having bad days and you thought you actually weren't capable of doing the job. And because the pass rate's not particularly high, it doesn't give you the confidence going into a test, does it? When you think, maybe I'm not starting well here, but again, without that support, I never would have achieved it.
So it allowed me to still get my lessons in, around my work schedule. So I wasn't necessarily having to book holidays off just to try and get the training. They were flexible in allowing me to have sessions when I'm available, or when I have a day off or my rest day. They were able to allow me to still have lessons in those times, which helped me to progress in my own time, but also to keep pushing on, because it's not like I have to stop work or put too much pressure on myself. I'm still working my normal job whilst I was learning to become a driving instructor.
My four wheels supported me through my training but the whole way. So you have basically account manager every step of the way. So you have 3 parts, and I had account manager at part 1, part 2 and part 3. And if ever I needed any questions or any support, I could just literally ring them up and they'll be there for me.
Then you get your part 2 test, which is your just a driving test. However, you do an hour drive and it's on the motorway included this time, just to see your level of driving. So they also provide 8 hours of training for that before you actually go for your test. So I took on that, which helped me iron out the creases in my drive that wasn't DVLA standard, put it as that.
They then send me the next month to prep for my own driving test. That's called the Part 2. And I was given 8 hours in-car training with an instructor who teaches instructors. That came from my four wheels. They were also at the end of the line, so if there's any issues or any questions I had about it, I went straight back to them.
Then they have the Part 3, which is now where the examiner assess how you deliver a driving lesson, and they also gave me 20 hours on VCT, which is online, and 20 hours in-car training of how to handle the car and the dual controls and how to interact and assess the road and assess the students and see what's going on, and they provide all that training within the package. And they're also supportive, so you've got a team as well that's around you that will happily tell you what went good, what went bad, and they're very upfront and honest rather than just say good and it's not really good.
The hardest part was Part 3. You had extra hours that you needed to do. Lots of VCTs online that my four wheels do for you. I actually sat through all of them twice, which is twice the amount of work, but I wanted to pass. They were very supportive. I went on to pass that, which completely shocked me. I didn't think it was something I was capable of doing, and I wouldn't have done it had I not had that support from my four wheels.
My four wheels offer ongoing support once you're qualified. So not only do we supply your pupils that you require, we also give you advanced training towards your standards checks that the DVSA require. So we will support you, not just through your qualification, but beyond.
My four wheels offer extensive training. This training doesn't just finish when you've passed your Part 3 test, this actually continues throughout your franchise period. We offer CPD, which is continuous personal development across that period. We also have account managers on hand to handle any issues that you come across.
The transition between training into full-time instructor, I would say, has been quite seamless, to be honest. Because I went on something called a pink badge, where you become a trainee instructor, so you're still learning whilst teaching. So then when I passed my last test, become fully qualified, seamless, like it hasn't really changed. And even from getting in the car from the first lesson, from the initial online training, initial in-car training, again, been quite seamless. Like, I've not really noticed much of a big difference. Like the support that I get is that good that it feels seamless to me.
Here at My Four Wheels, we also offer you the ability to use the DVSA's trainee license system, where you can train while you earn. So you get the training in the car with your pupils, but you also have the ability to earn whilst you do so.
Some people do it, some people don't. I chose to go down that route. So I did all my training and then applied for a pink badge. It's a trainee badge. You can have that for up to 6 months, and that is for you to be able to go and learn the job with real pupils. So you learn to teach, you've done all your training, you're capable of doing it, you're just building up lots of experience. So then when you go and take your Part 3, you are as prepared as best as you can be to pass the Part 3 test. It gives you so much experience, and I don't think I would have achieved it without doing that. If I'd just dropped the training and done my own thing, I wouldn't have had the level of pupils that I had. I had When I signed up, I had 15 that first week, which, yes, I had no idea where I was going to split them in, but I did because I was flexible. And I've had that level of students, well, for 3 years.
I went down the Pink Badge Avenue, and the Pink Badge gave me the experience for my Part 3 test. So going down the Pink Badge Avenue allowed me to be able to, one, encounter students, see how I want to plan and structure my lessons and what is beneficial and what works, rather than just running with the field. Also, if you don't kind of go down the Pink Badge Avenue, you then have to go and do your Part 3 test with no experience, which almost leaves you like, what should I do? What should I do? Bearing in mind you only have 3 attempts to do it, so you are kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage. So going down the Pink Badge allowed me to encounter students, see where I'm going wrong, assess and review how my performance, but also allows me to call up my walls and say, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Should I do this? Or if you want to record yourself on the dash cam and send it in, and they'll give you advice on things to improve on.
My Four Wheels is an extremely supportive company. They've never left me hanging. They've never left me without doubt they're not going to be there for me. They've always been there and always reiterated that they are going to be there for me.
They do make you feel like, cliche, but invincible. You feel like I can do anything. The way they encourage you, the way they speak to you, you feel like, yeah, I can do it. Why can't I do it? Let's just go for it. So they do motivate you and give you that oomph.
One of the best things about My Four Wheels is when I've accomplished all my tests, passed all my tests, they were still there. They were still there. They were still around if I needed them.
The reason I qualified and was successful in qualifying as a driving instructor was solely down to My Four Wheels. I had excellent instructors, excellent VCTs online. They were always at the end of the phone to help me. I never would have achieved it without them. I was way out of my comfort zone with the whole process, and they all knew that. Sometimes they would get a phone call from me saying, oh no, this is it, I'm not going to do it, it's all done now, this is not going to work for me. And one of my instructors actually said to me one day, all you need is self-belief. And that got me through to the end. I just needed somebody to say it, because I don't think I believed I would do it.